Have you ever felt like there's this massive wall between hard science and, human spirituality? Well, what if that wall is finally starting to crumble? Today, we're diving into a brand new initiative that's designed to do exactly that, to tear down those invisible frontiers that separate how we understand ourselves and the entire universe.
And this quote from Natalia Sanchez, one of the project's leaders, just says it all, doesn't it? When you get that cosmic perspective, all our little divisions just disappear. The goal here is to bring that exact same viewpoint right back down to Earth, to the way we think, the way we learn, the whole shebang.
So, the big problem they're trying to solve isn't about physical borders on a map. No, it's about the invisible frontiers, these artificial walls we've all built up in our minds that keep entire fields of knowledge apart, especially that old, stubborn divide between science and spirituality. And what's so cool is how specific they are about these walls. This isn't just some vague idea. They're literally trying to build bridges between different languages, connect people across generations, and, this is the really audacious part, create a space where what we know can actually meet the great unknown. It's all about swapping out walls for connections.
So who are the master architects behind this massive bridge-building project? Let's meet them. Natalia Sanchez and Vicente Arias. Their personal stories are absolutely fascinating and, as you'll see, they make them the perfect team for a job this ambitious.
First up is Natalia. She actually started her career in a super-structured, by-the-book world as a chemical engineer. But some really profound personal experiences made her completely pivot. She became a cultural astronomer, studying how our connection to the cosmos shapes our lives. So she brings that scientific discipline to these incredibly deep human questions. And then we have Vicente. Now this is a guy who, as an intensive care doctor, spent his career right on the razor's edge of life and death. You can imagine what that does to you. That experience sparked this deep, intense curiosity in him, pushing him towards a totally new frontier, the scientific investigation of consciousness itself, especially in those final moments of life.
Okay, so Natalia and Vicente aren't doing this in a vacuum. They're actually leading this whole thing as part of a much older organization, something called the Scientific and Medical Network, or SMN for short. So what is this network all about?
So for more than half a century? Think about that. The SNN has been this gathering place for professionals who believe that science shouldn't just be about what you can weigh and measure. Its whole mission is to explore the bigger picture, to connect that rigorous scientific method with the really profound parts of being human. And you can see how it's grown. It started out with scientists and doctors, but over the years, it just blossomed. It brought in philosophers, artists, therapists, recognizing that, hey, wisdom comes from all over the place. And that brings us right up to today, with their very first major push into the Spanish-speaking community, which is a huge deal, reaching the second largest language in the world.
But here's the thing, this isn't about throwing science out the window, not even close. The SMN runs on a really clear set of principles. It's all about being open-minded, sure, but never, ever at the expense of being rigorous. They champion curiosity, but it's always got to be grounded in ethics, in responsibility, and in a real respect for different points of view.
So what does all this look like in practice? Let's get real and concrete here. We're going to look at Vicente's research, which takes all these principles and applies them to one of the most profound and mysterious things any of us will ever experience, the process of dying.
This is the question that drives Vicente's work. And it's a bold one, right? I mean, it takes something as slippery and intangible as consciousness and asks, can we actually find its fingerprint in the physical world right at that final threshold?
And the way they do it is absolutely brilliant. It's called Project Oregano. What they do is they use these devices that are basically just high-tech digital coin flippers. They're constantly spitting out random zeros and ones. Because the output is totally unpredictable, it's the perfect neutral background to spot any weird organizing influence. So they put these in the rooms of terminally ill patients. The team carefully notes moments of really intense shared emotion, and then they look at the data. The question is, does the randomness stop being so random?
So here's the wild part, the big hypothesis. They're proposing that the intense shared consciousness of everyone in that room, family, caregivers, might create a kind of field that actually nudges the output of these random machines. This suggests that consciousness might not be locked up inside our heads, but that it can have an effect at a distance, what researchers call a non-local connection.
Now this research, it's really about way more than just data and gadgets. It represents a fundamental shift in how we think. It's an invitation for all of us to approach the great unknown in a totally new way.
Vicente asks this amazing question.
Think about it. A tourist, they follow a preset map, right? They go to see things they already know are there. But an explorer ventures into the unknown, hoping to discover something totally new. So, which one are you?
Let's just break that down for a second. The tourist sticks to the protocol. They repeat what's already been done to confirm what's established. They basically want to prove that they're right. The explorer, on the other hand, embraces the mystery. They are driven by pure curiosity, not by the need for certainty. Their goal isn't just to prove something, it's to grow.
And that, right there, is the heart of it. This entire project is a call to action. It's an appeal for more explorers in every single field, people who are willing to ask those really tough questions and venture into uncharted territory, but armed with both a wide-open mind and the sharpest tools of science.
I want to leave you with this really powerful charge from Vicente. It's not just about learning new stuff, it's about having the guts to challenge the very foundations of what you think is true. It's a call to be a responsible rule breaker of your own limitations.
So as we wrap up, the question really shifts from them to you. Their journey is about bridging science and spirituality, but we all have our own invisible frontiers, don't we? In our jobs, in our relationships, inside our own heads. The real question is, which ones are you going to choose to cross?